Hello everybody, welcome back to my game room. Today I got something extra nerdy for you. I am going to rank every North American game system from first to last. That's going to be 84 systems in all, and it includes handhelds and tabletop video games like the Vectrex. At this point in the video, I don't actually know what that list is. I'm going to actually flesh this list out in real time, pretty much, in front of you. I'm going to be tapping all the knowledge I've gained about game systems over the years. As you can see, I own a lot of them, but I've also read about them and I've researched them in preparation for certain videos for gaming the systems. So I am going to need some kind of tool to help me organize that list, and it's called a PC. And I'm going to go get it right now. 1 second. Alright, let's see. Computer. Before I begin, I just want to set some rules here. Like I said, I'm only doing game systems that came out in North America. Why have that rule? Because I figure if it never got released in America, how good can the system be? I'm just kidding about that. In actuality, that would make this list too long if I were to include every game system in the world. And also, it would be getting into game systems that I don't know much about, so I would not be able to rank them anyway. I am defining a game console as something that has interchangeable games, either via download or via physical media. I'm not going to include streaming devices. These game consoles must have at least one game that's specially made for it. To that end, I won't be covering emulation-only devices. I also won't be doing one game devices like the Pong systems of the 1970s or the Tiger handhelds. I'm not going to count cell phones as a game system, even though they kind of are, but they just wouldn't work well on this list. I'm not going to include systems that are strictly learning-based systems like the Leapster. And finally, I won't be including anything that's classified as a computer on here. The closest thing on this list to a computer would be the XEGS, but that's definitely marketed as a game console, so I'm gonna keep it in there. So let's go ahead and dive into it.
Okay, I've created an Excel spreadsheet that shows all the different systems in this column, and they're in alphabetical order. I'm going to place them in this column over here, which is the ranking area, like so. And I'm going to do that for the entire list. So let's get started. The 2600, I'm going to put that in the top 10. It's one of my favorite systems, and I still play it to this day. 32X, maybe a little bit below the middle, so let's put it at 44. The 3DO, I think I would rather play the 32X than the 3DO, so I'm going to put it down there. The 3DS, that is quite a good handheld. I'm going to put that at number 16 for now. The 5200, that's definitely below average. I'm going to put that at 55. The 7800, I consider that just slightly better than the 5200. Let's put that at number 54 for now. The Action Max is a VCR-based game system. It is not very fun to play today, so 74. The Intellivision is a desktop video game system, basically. It only had 4 games. They're rendered in red and black. They are a little bit playable, so it's not the worst system. I would put it above the Action Max. I would put it at 71. The APF Microcomputer System. This thing could be put together with a computer basically, and in that form it's called the Imagination Machine. But I'm only going to rate it as a console, and based on the cartridge games that are made for it. Graphics wise, it's in the same league as Atari, but it doesn't have as many titles. I think I'll place it above the Action Max. The Arcadia 2001 lived and died in 1982, which was the worst time to release a game system. Let's put it at number 64. The Bally Astrocade is a 1970s system that had very good graphics for the time. Not very playable today though. I would put it just above the Arcadia 2001. The Buzztime Home Trivia System. This barely qualifies as a game system. It is a text-based, trivia-based system with buzzers. I'm going to put it in the bottom 10. The CDI had a lot of full-motion video games, a lot of educational titles, and so forth. I think it should be... is it better than the 7800? I think that it's not. I think it should stay at 58 right here. The Channel F is a 1970s game system that actually beat the 2600 to market. The games are a little bit more primitive. I'm gonna put it at 66 here. The Colecovision is quite a good arcade-like system. Let's put it at number 30 for now. The Cybiko, I'm probably saying that wrong, but it had Game Boy-like graphics. Actually, it had better than Game Boy-like graphics. It's a Russian-based system. Let's put it at 53 here. Okay, the Dreamcast. I am becoming more and more of a fan of it as time goes on, so I'm going to put it in my top 3. The DS. It is a spectacular system, and I think I'm going to put it slightly above the 3DS right there. We'll see how that goes. The Gamate was a competitor to the Game Boy and had similar graphics. As a whole though, the games for it are not as good and there's not as many. It should be above the Cybiko though, so let's put it right here underneath the 3DO. The Game Boy Advance is one of my favorite handheld systems of all time. I'm going to put it above the DS. I'm going to put it at number 12 for now. The Game Boy Color, I'm going to put it down here at 27. The Game Gear, that is a comparable system to the Game Boy Color. I think that the Game Boy Color edges it out, so I'm going to put it right there. The Game Wave, I know all about this system because I posted that ultimate guide. I've played every game on it. Not very fun to play for the most part. Let's see, would I rather play Astrocade or Game Wave? Yeah, let's keep it right there. Okay, the Game Wizard was an LCD based game, kind of like those Tiger handhelds. Not very good. This is definitely bottom 10 material. I think I would rather play it than Action Max, so let's put it there. The Gamecom, a blurry black and white mess. I think the Gamate's better, so let's put it right there. The Gamecube. Some of the people watching are going to say this is their favorite system. For me, I'm not the biggest fan, but I recognize that the titles are pretty solid. I think I'm going to put it right there at number 14. The Sega Genesis, most of you know, I consider this a top 3 system. I think I'm going to put it at number 2. It just has a lot of good games. The Gizmondo was a failed handheld system. The best game for it is called Sticky Balls. I think it should go above the Cybiko. Is it better than Gamecom? That's a good question. I think that it is. Let's move. I don't know if it's better than Gamate though. Let's do this. Let's just do it that way. The GP2X Wiz was mainly an emulation device, but it did have its own games made for it. So let's put it right there and move the 3DO up a little bit. The HyperScan. Boy, does that suck. Let's see, would I rather play HyperScan or Action Max? That's a pretty tough decision, but I think I would rather play Action Max. The Intellivision, the Atari 2600's most direct competitor. Let's put the Intellivision right here. The Interactive Vision is a VCR-based game system. It is better than the Action Max in terms of technology, but not in terms of games. It mainly had Sesame Street games, so let's put it right there. The Jaguar, that's definitely near the middle. If you're playing the top games for it, you're gonna have a good time. Now, I think it belongs in this territory right here. The Jaguar CD, however, needs to go further down. Let's see, definitely below the CDI, but I'll keep it above the Astrocade and Arcadia. The LaserActive, this thing had humongous disc-based games. Not very playable though. Let's put it down here. The Atari Lynx, not a bad handheld, it's in color. I think I'm gonna put it right here. The Master System, let's put it at 23. The Microvision, the first handheld ever, it basically had interchangeable screens with dot-based gray graphics. So not very fun to play today. It's in the same territory as HyperScan, I think. Let's put it at number 80. The N64, I need to put it right here at number 13. I think I would rather play that in the Gamecube. The Neo Geo classic system, I would rather play it than the Master System, I think, so let's put it at 21. Neo Geo CD had longer loading times, only a few original games for it. I will put it down here. Neo Geo Pocket, not a bad handheld. It was in color. I think I'll put it right here underneath the Jaguar. The NES, I'm tempted to put this at number 1 because the games are timeless, the gameplay is timeless. Yeah, I think I'll keep it there. The Nokia N-Gage was basically a phone-based game system. I think it needs to be put, yeah, right there, below the Lynx. The Nuon is basically a DVD player that plays games, so not that many games though. Above the CDI? That's a tough one, I don't think so. Let's put it right next to the CDI. I made a category here for the Oculus Rift. I think I'd rather play it than the Neo Geo, but not more so than the 3DS, so let's put it at number 19. The Odyssey, it's not held up over time. It's basically overlays on your TV screen over top of Pong. I'm going to put it at 83. The Odyssey 2 was a pretty decent rival to the Atari 2600. Yeah, let's put it right below the 5200 right there. The Ouya, most of you will say this is the worst system ever. No, it's not. Let's put it just below the Jaguar right here. Move some things around. Yeah, that's not too bad. Now we're down to the Apple Pippin, and this does not have many games for it. It's a very obscure system, obviously, but it does have these marathon games on it. Those are the predecessor to Halo, their first-person shooters. That's the high point for the system. Let's put it next to the LaserActive. No, let's put it higher. Let's put it right there. The PlayStation Vita, I'm going to put it right below the 3DS. The PS1, I think it's in the top 10 for me. The PlayStation 2, I'm going to put higher than the PlayStation 1. Let's put it at number 6. The PlayStation 3, let's put it above the 2600. And put it right there. The PlayStation 4, it has had a great career as a game system. Let's put it right there under the Dreamcast. In fact, let's put it above the Dreamcast. The PS5, obviously it's a high-powered game system. It needs to be judged more over time. I'm going to put it right here for now. The PSP, I think I would rather play the DS, so let's put it right here. The PlayStation VR, it's very close to the Oculus Rift, but I think I would rather play it than the Oculus Rift. In fact, I'm gonna put it above the PS5, so let's do this. Let's do this. There we go. The R-Zone. This is a horrible game system. Let's see, it's probably better than the Microvision. Let's put it right there. The Sega Saturn. Number 10. Okay. The Sega CD. Not too bad. If you find the right games for it, you can have a lot of fun with it. Right there. The Select a Game. Basically dots on a screen with an overlay. Very primitive technology, not much fun to play today. Let's put it at number 82. The Super Nintendo. I would rather play PS1 than Super Nintendo, so let's scrunch it in right there. The Studio 2 is a very primitive black and white game system. Put it above the R-Zone. Is it better than the Buzztime? I don't think so. Let's put it right there. The Super Micro only had like 3 games for it. They are very primitive dot-based games. Let's put it... It's worse than the R-Zone. So let's put it right here. The Switch. This thing is kicking butt. I think I need to put it right above the PS3 right here. The Telstar Arcade is a very primitive system with triangle-based cartridges that are barely above Pong in terms of gameplay. I think the Studio 2 is a little bit better, so let's put it right here. Total Control 4 is another dot-based game system with overlays. The Odyssey is probably better. Let's put it last. I realize it's off the chart here, but that's so that I have room to move things around. So the Turbo CD right here at 25. The TurboGrafx 16 would be a little bit above that. I think I would put it just below the Gamecube right here. So let's move these down. The TV Go-Go is basically a toy, has interchangeable games, and it puts your image on the screen as you're playing the games, which is pretty cool. Let's put it above the channel F right here. The Vectrex. I love my Vectrex. Let's put it just below Colecovision right there. The Video Art is a coloring-based system made by LJN. Controls on it are horrible, so you can't really color anything. The Microvision is better, so let's put it right there. The Video Information System was sold in Radio Shack stores, and it completely flopped. No, it's better than the Adventure Vision. That's a perfect spot because it's comparable to LaserActive. The Virtual Boy, not too bad. I enjoy some of the games on it. Let's put it just below the Ouya. The Wii, let's put it right above the TurboGrafx right here. The Wii U, so let's insert, okay, good place for it, I think. The Zavix port is a Wii wannabe. Let's put it right here. The Xbox, I think it goes above the TurboGrafx, so let's insert another row here. The Xbox 360 needs to go above the original Xbox. In fact, it's close to PS3, right? So, you know what? I think it's right above the PS3. So let's move that down and stick that. If I can grab it. There we go. It's a good place for it. The Xbox One has a lot of games that are the same as the PS4 games, but maybe not quite as many. I think it needs to go above the Saturn right here, so move it over there, number 11. The Xbox Series X and S, let's put it right here. Okay, the XEGS, I think it belongs in the same territory as its other ones, the 7800 and the 5200. Let's put it just below the 5200. Finally, the Zodiac, a handheld system that most people haven't heard of. I think I'm going to put it right here. So let me condense this list down and we'll take a look at the final results. And let's take a final look. We got the NES, the Genesis, and the PS4 rounding out the top. And I think if you were a new gamer to the world, that this would be a good list to use to guide your collecting. The Zodiac places right in the middle. I think I'm fine with that. The Gamecom is just below the Gizmondo. That makes sense. Near the bottom here, we have some stinkers. I think this experiment came out very well.
Okay, so that was my list. What did you think? Did I miss any game systems? I'm sure there's one or two out there somewhere in North America that has not come across my radar. So If you know of any, put it in the comments. Also, if you would like to do a ranking like this yourself in the comments, feel free to. I know it's a lot of games, but I did list all of them in the description. In the meantime, you might want to check out one of these game systems that I talked about today, and that's the GameWave. I have recently created an ultimate guide, and that's on the screen right now. If you watch that, you'll learn a lot about the GameWave. May your games make you happy and smart, and may people respect you for playing them. So long, everybody.